Hey guys, this is Pixel Dan coming to you from the 2016 New York Toy Fair, and I'm here at the Mezco Toys booth with my friend Pierre to talk about all the amazing things on display here. So how's it going, Pierre?
It's going very good, Dan. It's always good to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Absolutely, man. And hey, you got some amazing things. You dropped some massive reveals with this 1/12 collection, and I got to say I'm so excited about it. So I would love it if you can tell us about some of the things you have on display for that line.
Absolutely. I guess the big reveal here is the Marvel license, and I'm glad that I don't have to keep that secret anymore because that was killing me. So we're debuting here on the left side of the case all the Marvel stuff that we have so far to show. Top shelf is Daredevil. We've got 3 different versions of Daredevil. A Shadowland, a retro version, and sort of our take on the modern version. Second shelf is both a classic version of Captain America and a modern version of Captain America. Same with Punisher, an armored version, which is more modern, and then a classic version. And I'll say this with almost every character. When we start development, we try to game plan as many existing variants that we can. Because we want to maximize all the skulls, but it's also more about actually making every version of the character that people might want. Because people might like Punisher, but classic Punisher's not their Punisher. So we want to make sure that we fill out as many of the ranks as we can. So on the right side of the cabinet here, we've got DCU. And again, it's sort of our take on DCU. It's iconic, and you know immediately who these characters are, but we've also put our own sort of artistic touch on them. So Shazam, Professor Zoom, Green Arrow, Flash, and Superman. And the shelf below that is Dawn of Justice, which we're super excited about. Ben Affleck Batman, Henry Cavill Superman in the mech suit, the bat armor, which will have light-up eyes in production. And what you're not seeing here on display is all the stuff that these figures will come with. We're aware that the figures have a high price point. We don't want people to get home, open these, and just find like one figure and a set of hands and feel like they've been ripped off. So every figure has at least one alternate head, at least 3 sets of alternate hands, a bunch of different weaponry. Green Arrow has a bunch of different trick arrows, for instance. His hood has a wire in it, so you can actually pull it up and drape it so it looks dramatic. Shazam comes with a whole bunch of stuff. Same across the board here. So there's stuff here that you're not seeing that they will come with.
Amazing, and they're looking so fantastic, and the character selection is great, and I'm sure this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like you guys are planning a lot more for the Marvel and DC stuff, I assume?
Yeah, I'm excited to reveal this stuff, and it's exciting to see the response, but I'm also stressed because there's work, happening at the office that I'm not doing because I'm here. So there'll be more reveals at San Diego. I mean, the ball never stops rolling. There'll be new stuff. I think we teased on social media, and I don't know how much it's been picked up on, but we've teased a certain friendly neighborhood character. We've teased some potential fourth wall breaking stuff potentially next year. So there is stuff happening behind the scenes that
Awesome. So a lot to look forward to here, but Marvel and DC is not all. We got a lot more 1/12 stuff to look at, and there's some really big, exciting things. So let's move on and check out some of these other cases here.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so what is this amazing thing right here?
Well, we said from the onset of the 1/12 line that we really wanted to do the aesthetic of a 12-inch and 6-inch, and the king of the hill at 12 inches, Hot Toys. Yeah. And Hot Toys never holds any punches. They'll do vehicles at scale for 12-inch, which always has blown my mind. So why not try it? Yeah. And we tried it with the Lawmaster, and so far so good. We did lights and sound features, and it's been a great vehicle. Everything's worked out, and we've taken a bunch of stuff that we've learned from that, and we're applying it to the Dawn of Justice Batmobile. So this will have light and sound features. Wow. The cockpit doors will open. There's room inside for 2 figures to sit side by side. Oh, wow. The display panels inside light up. The headlights light up. There'll be like cannon sounds and flashing lights. So yeah, I don't have an idea on price point yet. It's not going to be cheap, but I hope it'll be worth it.
Cool. Do you have like any kind of gauge on when we can expect to see it, or be able to get more information on pricing and purchasing?
This is the first time I've seen it in person.
Okay. All right.
I've been looking at it on a screen for a long time. This is the first time I've seen it printed, assembled, and painted. So we're probably looking at next year. But if anything, Hot Toys has taught us that as long as you do quality product of an iconic brand, it'll have a market, even if it's a year out from the film. So we're hopeful.
Awesome. Well, it's very exciting that you're even doing the vehicles. I mean, that's not something I expected. I'll tell you what, when you guys first showed the stuff last year with the Dark Knight Returns Batman and even the Judge Dredd stuff, it was amazing. But, like, I didn't even, like, expect to see this line get this expansive. This is so exciting.
Thank you. I mean, I have told people that, because we started out year before last with Dark Knight, and that was just one figure. And then even all throughout last year, we had a grand total of 3 figures. Yeah. And I kept saying, we've got, like, 20 figures in the works. Like, this is the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. So it never stops. There's always, I mean, it's fun. It's always work, but there's always a new character that you're starting a project on. It's always really exciting. So
very cool. And there's even more licenses to look at. So let's jump over and take a look at some of those now.
Absolutely.
Okay, so even more 1/12 goodness over here. What's in this case?
It never stops. Across the top here, we've got Star Trek. So both Spock and Sulu are up for pre-order right now. I think Kirk will probably be up in a month and a half for pre-order. And assuming all goes well, we're not done with Classic Trek. I'm a huge fan. I have great memories of watching this show on Pix Channel 11, not to give them a shout out, but that's where it was on reruns. And I would watch the expletive out of this show. I loved it. So I want to do everyone. I want to get Scotty, I want to get McCoy, I want to get Uhura, but we'll have to wait and see.
So with all that Classic Trek, and I agree, I want to see the full team and maybe even some of the big bads and everything. But I also got to ask, because I grew up more with the Next Generation, and I'm a huge Next Generation fan. Is it possible to see Picard and his team in this scale at some point?
I also grew up with Next Gen, and I'm actually a huge Trek fan across the board. So if it was up to me, we'd do Voyager, we'd do all that, all this Deep Space Nine. Right now, it's just Classic Trek.
Okay.
That's not to say that we'll never do Next Gen, but
that's all I needed to hear. That's, you know what I mean?
It's not in the
There's
cards
hope
right now. It's it's possible, but it's not. It's nothing we're working on right now.
Okay. Good
And again, with these guys, what you're not seeing is alternate heads, alternate hands, all the accessories they come with. So
okay, great, very cool. So we got down here, we got some monsters, which look great. The Universal monsters.
Right. We've done Universal monsters before, not in this style and scale, but we're huge fans. Mez especially, a couple guys in our office are just huge fans of Universal monsters. So we did the Wolfman movie. We've done stylized Mummy. We've done a bunch of characters before, and so it was a natural to sort of get them into this line. We're starting with Frankenstein, both black and white in a color version. We will do more characters from Universal monsters. I just don't know who or when, but it's almost a given how much of a fan we are of this franchise.
Right, exactly. So. Frankenstein's looking pretty great there, too. And the one behind him is one that I've been excited for ever since you guys showed him at San Diego Comic-Con. And it's for a Hanna-Barbera license. You got Space Ghost in there.
Space Ghost, absolutely, with Blip. So we have that entire universe open to us. All the classic Hanna-Barbera characters from Herculoids, Mytor, Galaxy Trio, all those guys are on the table. And again, like you, I'm a huge fan. So it was up to me, we do them all. Right now it's just Space Ghost, and again, it's one of those things where we'd love to do them all, but we have to game plan. We have to pick and choose when we have time for certain characters. But I'd say it's almost a guarantee that we'll get to more of them, for sure.
That's fantastic, and he's looking great. He's more of a final product in here, right? Because it was pretty early on at Comic-Con, I think.
This is actually the same prototype, but it was the best display copy we have. So we're showing him again. He's over in Hong Kong. He's in production, not production, but they're tooling him up and getting all the fine-tuning down.
Okay. Great. So we're seeing a lot of amazing things here with 112. I want to talk to you about some of the possibilities maybe with this line. With everything with the DC stuff you showed, and you got all the great stuff for the new Batman versus Superman movie. But I think there was talk early on of seeing stuff like the Michael Keaton Batman in this line. Is stuff like that still possible?
It is absolutely still possible. We have open to us all of the DC movie universe, so we could do all versions of Batman. When we had announced our plans to do Keaton Batman, I guess the rights had just opened up for that character. So there's a flood of characters, a flood of merchandise from that character, from other companies across the board, from Hot Toys to NECA to Mattel, and all great product. And it was one of those instances where, we knew we would end up with a great product, but did we want to flood the market with one more item that people had to split their dollars against? So the decision was made, honestly, if we made a Keaton Batman in 3 years, it would still be that amazing, iconic Keaton Batman. And then we don't have the competition. We're not trying to, squeeze our way into a flooded market.
So he's just not here now, but that doesn't mean he's not still in the works. I mean, this line is going to be doing great. I have no doubt about it. So that we'll be seeing lots of new figures. So speaking of some of the other licenses that you have, for just my personal... I want to know, Mortal Kombat. Is there a possibility to see maybe some classic Mortal Kombat in the 112 scale?
We can, absolutely. I mean, we teased that again last year. At least we had the icon under the 112 umbrella. So it's a possibility. But again, it's one of those things where with the amount of characters we're doing and the amount of workload we have, where do we pick and choose who gets released when? So classic Mortal Kombat will still be classic in 2 years.
Exactly.
And I'd love to do them. I want to do all the, the ninjas basically. Like,
I mean, like Scorpion and Sub-Zero seem like they're made for this style, right?
Right. Yeah, and the crazy thing is it wouldn't be that difficult because they're just variations in the same outfit, pretty much. So I'd say we'll get to them. I just don't know when.
Okay.
I don't know when.
Well, Great. Well, hey, Pierre, everything's looking really great here. The line's fantastic. It's obviously picked up a lot of buzz. I mean, everybody is really flocking to these over here. So I want to thank you for taking the time to walk us through all of this product here.
Anytime, dude. It's always good to see you. Thanks again for coming by.
Absolutely. Well, there you go, guys. A look at Mezco Toys and the awesome 112 Collective here at the 2016 New York Toy Fair.
Stay up to date with Pixel Dan at Toy Fair 2016. Follow at Pixel Dan on Twitter or /Mandalorian30 on YouTube.com. Thanks for tuning in to your premier source for all things toys, Pixel Dan. See you again.